Wyclef Jean joins the district in giving our top educators a standing ovation.
And we take a look back at some of the most surprising and memorable moments from in front of the camera and behind the scenes.
All of that, plus the top stories from the News Rundown on this edition of We Are Washington.
Welcome to We Are Washington. Coming up, the district's top educators take a bow at the 7th Annual Standing Ovation Awards Program. The star-studded ceremony is the city's premier event to say thank you to all of our great educators. This year's program featured musician Wyclef Jean and fashion guru Tim Gunn. We'll bring you all the highlights.
And later, we'll take a look back at some of the most memorable moments from the last season of We Are Washington. From embassy chefs to Dave Chappelle and just about anything you can think of going on in the district, we've been there, and it's always been a pretty fun ride. We'll bring you some of our favorite moments, but first, here's the News Rundown. The largest public infrastructure project in the history of the district is officially underway. Mayor Muriel Bowser broke ground on the new Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge, which includes replacing the old bridge and reconstructing the Suitland Parkway I-295 interchange.
We're one of the fastest growing cities anywhere in the U.S. We're adding 1,000 people each and every month to our city. And we have to make sure that our transportation infrastructure evolves to support the many people that live here and work here and visit here.
This bridge is, in my judgment, the most important bridge, and we are a city of bridges in the District of Columbia because it connects Southeast Washington to the other wards of the city, because it connects the commuters.
The groundbreaking ceremony for the bridge kicked off festivities around the district, marking the 200th anniversary of the birth of Frederick Douglass.
A newly restored portrait of Frederick Douglass was also unveiled at the Wilson Building. The portrait was commissioned in 1936 and restored just last year. Frederick Douglass lived in Anacostia from 1877 until his death in 1895. During that time, he served as the U.S. Marshal for the District of Columbia and later the Recorder of Deeds.
The number 200 and the bicentennial allows us to take a pause and reflect and spend a little extra time. There may be some of us who take time to reread his autobiography. There may be some of us who visit Cedar Hill for the first time. All of those are wonderful options for us to reflect and pause and think about how his contributions can help us to all do a little bit better in our lives today.
The city rounded off a week of festivities with the Frederick Douglass 5K along the newly launched Oxen Run Trail.
3, 2, 1, go!
The new Ward 8 trail is 3.4 miles long and was designed to bridge gaps in the city's trail network. The Oxen Run Trail connects from South Capitol Street Southeast to 13th Street Southeast and includes 208 LED streetlights, benches, rest areas, and a new Capitol bike share station. Historic Engine Company 22 has a new home in Ward 4.
The district celebrated the grand opening of a state-of-the-art firehouse for Engine 22 at the Parks at Walter Reed. Originally located at 5760 Georgia Avenue Northwest, the new firehouse at 6825 Georgia Avenue Northwest is the second building to open at the redevelopment of the former Walter Reed Army Medical Center.
So this engine company opening is not only good, beautiful enhancement to the neighborhood, it's been a critical missing link to public safety in Ward 4 for too many years, but that ends today. So let's get everybody involved. A big round of applause.
Engine Company 22 features many modern amenities, including a vegetated green roof, underground parking, and fitness areas for the men and women who will call it home.
DC Public Libraries presented a wide range of events in celebration of Black History Month. Among the special events was a lecture series that featured the district's Attorney General, Carl Racine. The Attorney General gave a lecture at Francis Gregory Library entitled Mass Incarceration in the United States and Other Ways the Criminal Justice System Perpetuates Racial Disparities.
We have a mass incarceration problem in the United States of America. We in the United States are about 5% of the population of the world, yet 90% of the folks who are incarcerated right here in the United States.
Mayor Bowser and former Mayor Anthony Williams joined D.C. faith leaders for a breakfast in honor of Black History Month at the new Museum of the Bible in Southwest D.C. Mayor Bowser spoke about the important role the D.C. faith community plays in helping residents feel inspired and hopeful.
Nearly 1,300 swimmers made a big splash at the 32nd annual Black History Month Invitational Swim Meet. The three-day annual event at Tacoma Aquatic Center attracted 40 swim teams from around the country. Olympic swimmer Cullen Jones was the featured guest at the event, and in 2008, Jones became the second African-American swimmer in history to win gold at the Olympics.
For district soccer fans, the excitement is building.
DC United moved a step closer to the opening of their new home at Audi Field in Southwest DC. Fans gathered for a topping out ceremony to commemorate the placement of the final piece of structural steel for the new soccer-specific stadium. Audi Field is set to open for DC United's inaugural home match against the Vancouver Whitecaps on July 14th.
The players are excited. I know that obviously the fans are excited, but once we get here, we want to start winning and get things going and start off on the right foot. So if we can do that, obviously it's always going to be better.
Firecrackers and dragon dances, all part of the fun of DC's Lunar New Year's Parade in Chinatown. The parade featured kung fu demonstrations, live music, marching bands, and more, all in celebration of the Lunar New Year's Parade, ushering in the Year of the Dog.
All right, there's so much happening, but we do have time for a quick recap of some of our stories. First story I want to mention, Oxen Run Trail. That was a very interesting 5K race that we had there, but it was really meant to open the trail and remind everyone that this is a project where they're able to integrate green infrastructure and some of the paths and the parks and open spaces around the district. And also I thought that the American elm tree planting as part of that was a really nice touch they put on.
And a lot of excitement with the groundbreaking for the new Frederick Douglass Bridge, which is, as we mentioned, the largest infrastructure project we've ever had. Very exciting. I would encourage people to take a look at how amazing this bridge is going to look. You can see the renderings at newfrederickdouglassbridge.com. It gives you a sense of just how much of an impact this new bridge is going to make on that entire area.
You know, Frederick Douglass was about building bridges, not necessarily real bridges at that time, but building bridges in a sense. So it's aptly named.
And a great tribute.
Absolutely. And next story, Engine Company 22.
Oh, yeah.
The opening of the new fire station. Nice upgrades that they're going to have. And one of the things, the key emphasis that Chief Dean made was about keeping the community involved. They've included a community space where they're inviting people from the neighborhood to come and partake in different events and interact with them on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, and they sure deserve it.
Absolutely. And final story for today, Audi Field, the topping out.
I'm very excited, yes.
I know. And well, one of the things I noted from reading through the story was that people are very excited, the team's excited, the fans are excited, but you're gonna have to wait for a few games into the season because their first games for the team, for the DC United this year, are going to be on the road.
Okay, well, that's okay. When it's time for that first game at Audi Field, it will be well worth a wait. I also want to mention DC United fans so excited. They got a chance to sign that last steel beam at the topping out ceremony.
Nice.
So imagine all those fans will be, a part of that stadium forever.
You're looking up and around during the game. Which beam was it? Try to figure it out. Sure.
Well, coming up, a star-studded tribute to district educators.
And then some of our favorite moments, both seen and unseen, from We Are Washington. Stay with us.
Sousa Middle School is being recognized for having the most improved attendance rate among middle schools in the district.
Mayor Bowser congratulated Sousa students and staff as part of the district's Every Day Counts campaign to encourage the community to help get students to school every day. To celebrate Sousa's achievement, the Department of Parks and Recreation hosted a mini recreation day.
So we're celebrating you doing your job, and your job is school. And because of that, you have earned a day of fun and learning. So this afternoon, we're going to have a little rec day right here at your school with our partners at Department of Parks and Recreation.
Top educators in the district also being recognized with the 7th annual Standing Ovation Awards ceremony for DC Public Schools.
Since 2010, the awards program has celebrated the district's finest educators with a star-studded program honoring 29 award winners, including Teacher of the Year, Principal of the Year, and School Staff Member of the Year. Musician Wyclef Jean and Tim Gunn of Project Runway fame joined the celebration held at DC's newest venue, the Anthem at the Wharf. The hallmark of a top educator is placing students first. On this occasion, it's their turn to step into the spotlight. This is Standing Ovation, an event highlighting and celebrating those who serve in DC Public Schools.
To all the teachers, administrators, and staff of DCPS, thank you for the work that you do for our children each and every day.
Just like a Hollywood Awards ceremony or a star-studded gala, this celebration is filled with inspiring stories.
My teachers were the one who actually found out that I had a congenital hearing loss. So without their help, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to get up here tonight.
And unforgettable performances. Including a special appearance by Wyclef Jean.
Can you stand on your feet one time for the Teacher of the Year?
Entertainment aside, this evening at the Anthem is all about honoring teachers who have made the biggest impact on young people in the district. DC native and celebrity TV host Tim Gunn returns to MC this year's Standing Ovation.
All I can say is, wow, what an evening. And it's all for you.
Sharing his own thoughts about the achievements of DCPS's finest teachers and leaders.
The teachers who belong to the DC public school system aren't just the teachers of today, they're also the teachers of tomorrow. They have the courage to innovate and are willing to reach above and beyond to ensure that each young person receives a world-class education.
A fitting description for any educator in the room on this night, but an especially poignant description of the 2017 Teacher of the Year, Tamika Coleman.
I teach to reach and expand the minds of the youth that I encounter in the hopes that they will one day transform the world. For me, this is what brings communities together.
The future of our democracy is dependent upon every child receiving a high-quality education. Every child in America should be able to read at levels where they can analyze, critique, and comprehend bogus legislation that is often passed in their honor.
Tania Pritchard and Tamika Coleman, now part of a foundation of tradition that will continue to serve DCPS students for years to come. I always like this event because, number one, it's important to celebrate great work, and these teachers are doing really great work with students in DCPS. And it's a great time to be able to get dressed up and to see some really nice performances by the stars that show up. And, I really think that having Tim Gunn there, DC native, I know he's been MC in years past. It's important to him to be a part of this event too. He's always mentioned during previous standing ovations.
And I had no idea that he was a native Washingtonian.
That's right. Yeah, he's from here. And other performers they've had in the past, because they had Wyclef Jean this year, but also Genuine, Josh Groban in years past. So it really is a special night for the teachers, for the staff members, people who are celebrated and honored through this.
And those celebrities are so happy to be able to give back to teachers. Everybody wants to do that. And I know that people watching, when they find out who the Teacher of the Year award, I know when my kids were in DC public schools, you always think, no, wait a minute, that should have been, but it's great to see them honored.
And like Wyclef has said, and other performers have said in years past, they always share a little story of a teacher who impacted them in their lives, because let's face it, doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a pop singer or whether you're a performer or whether you have a regular day job, you work 9 to 5. A teacher somehow impacted your life and shaped who you are. So everyone has a story they can tell along those lines.
Definitely, and very important for them to be recognized.
Yes.
Coming up, there's never a dull moment in the district, and we're going to prove it with a look back at some of the most memorable moments from our past few seasons. Don't go away.
Washington, D.C. is a fast-paced city, and it takes a lot to keep up with all the exciting and often unexpected events happening all over the district.
From embassy chefs to Dave Chappelle, there's never a dull moment in D.C. In fact, there's so much happening, we thought we'd pause to take a look back at some of our favorite moments that makes this job the best in the city. Take a look. Right this way.
Yeah, my passport. I'm all ready to go, right?
Ready. Top chefs from around the globe competed at the 2017 Embassy Chef Challenge. Why do you want to be here to support Man the Block?
Every kid, whether directly or indirectly, is your kid.
We're here at the Thompson Boat Center today with the Wilson High School crew team. Do you think I can do it?
We'll try not to flip.
We'll try not to flip?
We'll try not. Just like that. There you go. You're actually not that bad. Not that bad.
And the city celebrates a new mural at Ben's Chili Bowl, and the stars come out to see it.
How's the picture look?
I love this picture. Yo, this is a huge honor for me, man.
All right, we have a few items for the news recap today.
Indeed, very busy month.
Absolutely.
Sorry, okay. You just try that again.
Sure, no problem. Yeah. Indeed.
We're here at the Gala Theater in Columbia Heights, where we're behind the scenes for the hit show In the Heights.
We knew this show was going to be a representation of immigrants and being in Washington.
The Quicken Loans National being held here at TPC Potomac. Golf enthusiasts and PGA pros from around the world getting ready to hit the links. I'll start it off.
Okay.
Just a couple of
We're here in the middle of Connecticut Avenue, right in front of Decades Nightclub.
The district kicks off the most creative month of the year with its second annual 202 Creates.
Typically use those sounds as transitions from one track to another, or sometimes I create a whole new track and I just loop something and I get an idea and there's like a feeling in the room and I kind of exude that through the music.
Greek food, drink, and culture all here in D.C. You're invited to the Greek Festival at St. Sophia's.
What began more than 10 years ago as a small neighborhood block party has quickly grown into one of the most anticipated neighborhood festivals in the entire district. This is the 8th Street Festival. I'm happy with it if you are.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
You know, it's so fun to look back. You forget how much was going on.
It's important to always take a pause, right? And then just take inventory of all the things that we've done along the way. Now, as far as all of the different people we've interviewed and places we've gone, I mean, I don't think picking out one and calling it a favorite would do justice to any of the others. So I'll just say that I think when I watch something like this, I think my favorite part is always, the moments that we all have in the studio here with the crew and getting ready to shoot and all of that sort of behind the scenes moments that take place, because you do really forget about a lot of that. I mean, that's one of those things that's fun to see, and you do forget about it over time.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I really enjoyed looking back at that Greek festival piece because I feel that every time you can incorporate food, good food, great people, good music and dancing, then
dancing,
then you feel like this is a great job.
Absolutely.
I could do this every day.
I took note of that when you first showed us the piece. I was like, you got something to eat there.
Exactly.
You met a lot of fun and interesting people, and at the end you danced. So.
You're like, I'm starting to see a pattern with your story choices. Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for this show, but we do have time for one last thing.
Everybody likes to receive something on Valentine's Day, right?
Of course.
Whether it's a card or a box of chocolates. Everybody likes to get a gift, right? So you're really going to like this video here that we're going to show you. Every year, it's becoming a tradition now. Mayor Bowser, she's able to go to see some homebound seniors, and she visits the seniors right here. You can see handing out Valentines. So how this works is DCPS students make these Valentines, and the mayor goes around, meets with the seniors, talks with them.
This is my favorite new tradition in the district. Only the second year in a row, but so great. How nice to have somebody come to your house, hand deliver a Valentine made by students.
Yes.
You know that these seniors, it really makes their day.
Right,
Very
it's a bright spot of the day, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that is all the time that we have for today, but we'd like to thank you for joining us and remind you to watch some of our other programs. You can search for us on YouTube, on our YouTube page, Entertain DC, and also you can hear us on the radio.
Listen to us on the radio, imagine that.
96.3 HD4 DC Radio.
See you next time.